Hey everybody, welcome back to the Monday Q&A show. The show is here to answer all your questions for you, and they all come from the comment section below. So remember, put them down there, vote up your favorites. I dig deep every single week, and everything in this show comes from you guys and gals. Thanks for the feedback. I'm going a little wider. I know it's just a little small thing, but it makes it feel a little more roomy in this place. I get to see a little bit more of my office, I guess, anyway. Also, I'm having lighting trouble again. I had to go back to my old lighting. It doesn't matter. The drama and the pain of being a YouTuber. Anyway, if you guys want to support the show, don't forget, I do have a web store. You can go check it out. Got some cool patches over there, all this really neat merch, all free shipping worldwide. And then, yeah, at the end of the show, I do a video of the week, which also comes from you. So don't forget to recommend your favorite channels or your own channel on YouTube. And Airsoft or kind of Airsoft-ish. And I will help promote you guys and gals out there. Also, got a new project coming up, a new addition to the channel, a new show coming up. I want to tease it. It's going to be Airsoftology News. I'm going to be bringing news from around the internet. I'll be partnering with some big names in news like NL Airsoft and Popular Airsoft to help bring you those stories. And of course, also stories direct from the companies and brands in this industry. So tune on that. I'm not sure if it's going to be a weekly show. If we have that much news, maybe every other week I'll drop in some news. A little more newsy format. You won't see me in a shirt and tie though. Anyway, enough about all that. Let's dive on into what you're really here for. That's your questions in the Tippmann mail call. Snowball, the Tactahusky, who's pretty much a regular contributor now, asks, hey Mr. Higgs, what do you think about non-traditional events such as Omega Productions? Is it possible post-apocalyptic style events could spark some life and more attention back into the hobby? So yeah, this was actually Omega Productions that wasn't really on my radar, surprisingly. They're an American production group, and they do definitely this post-apocalyptic Division, Fallout kind of vibe games. Also, I'd tell you somebody's doing a fantastic version of this too, although not to the level that they are. I'll kind of cover theirs as well. I did some digging. Is also Ballhack Airsoft. Man, they are putting out some really good stuff. I tell you, Chris over there is always doing that post-apocalyptic stuff, these weekend events. So this one is the Omega Productions, which actually they're doing one in DJ Adventure Park, which is in Wyandotte or Wyandotte. I always mispronounce that city, Oklahoma. It's where some of the other big promoters have put on games. Huge, huge area. I mean, huge, like hundreds and hundreds of acres of play area. It's massive. And they're doing another one in Pennsylvania. I think the production group's out of New York. I'm not sure exactly, but they're gonna have an Oklahoma game and then a Pennsylvania game. I'll have links to them. They're not paying me for this at all. This is not promoted. Just want to help share this. It's a 48-hour in the field, nonstop event, although at night in your camps, it's a no fire zone. So like after I think 8 p.m., it turns into no fire zone on those. What I like what they've done with this is, even though it's post-apocalyptic, they've banned the use of thermals and night vision, so there's not like a crazy advantage for those people who want to throw those on and go run around, as well as set some reasonable FPS limits, of course all the rules. Food and water requirements, very strict on those, which I do like. You have to have enough to carry with you and all that. Of course, full shield goggles, all the things that are normally required. But there's some things they have done in their rule set. I started clicking through and going, that's a good idea. Oh, that's a good idea too, to really make this thing a level playing field for everybody. Didn't dive too deep. I actually want to go check out one of these events, although in April I'm going to be at a different event in North Carolina. A D-Day Adventure at Black Ops Paintball, but definitely maybe next year or later this year, I might want to try to get tied off with these guys. It looks like it's going to be a fun event, be somebody worth going to and getting a different perspective. But more so, it's this different style gameplay. You don't bring your BBs with you. It's kind of Milsim West-ish in that way. They will issue you BBs, so it's not just going to be a blasting firefight, you know, like all out BB hose battle. I mean, I'm sure you have to like go do quests, it says, and like have like, things. Maybe that's how you earn some ammo and things like that. Really a different approach, more role play, more immersive experience. And I think personally, this is what we need more of in Airsoft. I think for so long it's been Milsim, and then there's Milsim versus the skirmish crowd, and there's Milsim, skirmish, and Speedsoft, and then for games like Milsim events, there's all these different Milsim companies trying to out-Milsim each other, right? And I think we've really hit the pinnacle with Milsim West. I think that's like kind of, to me, in the US, that's like it. And you look at some of these massive events in Europe that are doing like these hardcore week-long Milsims. Those have like, that's like the pinnacle. That's like the cap. You can't get much more Milsim than that, I think, as long as you keep the sim part into it, the simulation piece. But I think this direction is pretty cool. These ongoing story arcs, these quests and adventures you get. I would love to go do one of these. It'll be fun. In fact, they even say like, no, you can't wear a fast helmet. Period. Sorry. Like, I mean, they're very restrictive on like certain uniforms, like certain things you cannot wear. Then like everything else is wide open. They want you to kind of look the part. They don't want you to be like all tactical out. So yeah, for me, I think it's super, super cool. But I want to know what you guys think about this. I know I've gone on for a little bit here. What are your thoughts on it? I think this is definitely the way I'd like to see the sport have another option for us to go play. I love playing games like that, right? I mean, the reason I got into airsoft, you play video games and you're like, man, I wish I could go. And then I was like, oh, I can go shoot my friends the same way I do. And heck yeah, let's go sign up, right? So I like playing these post-apocalyptic games, like the Division 2 just dropped here. You know, so it's like those fun things that you get to do. You know, maybe we can, you know, copy them over into the airsoft world. You know, try to do an airsoft version and get out there and have like a 2-day event all weekend long to go do something like this. I think it'd be so much fun. Anyway, let me know your thoughts on that. You think it's stupid? Do you think it's just, airsoft should be milsim or skirmish? Or do you think this is a good approach? Let me know down in the comment section below. Stupid Weasel says, hey Jonathan, has anyone ever told you that you look like the Battlefield 3 engineer? So what, do I? Is it the beard? Is it kind of the look? What do you guys think? I don't know. Maybe a little, but I don't know. Let me know in the comment section below if you guys think I am or not. Brody Hawkinson writes, can cold weather break AEGs? One time I was shooting my gun in the cold and the hop-up cracked. Was it because of the cold or because of a different problem? So yes, cold can affect your gun in some ways, specifically around the metal and certain metals that companies will use. On the durability parts, okay, let me take a step back. Way back in the day, I used to have Classic Army guns, and I'm talking like 10, 12 years ago, like a long time ago when Classic Army really first started bubbling up as a brand in the US. And we were doing some really high power builds. I mean, taking it way above 400, testing the limits and pushing long before it was very popular. And we did break some guns, much more in the cold than we did in the heat of the summer. And I think that it was the difference of, obviously the colder weather makes the metal a little more brittle, and we're using that zinc alloy, that what the people call pot metal. So it's not exactly the best cast mech box shell at the time. Now there's some fantastic shells out now. I mean, some makers like, you know, VFC's doing reinforced shells. Crytek has some crazy reinforced shells. Their guns, like a cracked mech box is not, I mean, even like the regular makers have really stepped up their metal quality, different tiers of that zinc alloy. I mean, we're still talking zinc alloy, but they're using a different grade, different levels, reinforcing the parts that we've seen over the years based on the Marui V2 design. Usually it's V2, not really V3. You'd break the front of the mech box off. Radiusing the corners where there were stress points, so you didn't have a sharp angle. It was radius, so it has like, it's kind of rounded off. If you ever take your mech box out, I wish I had a mech box in front of me, where the cylinder is right to the front where the air nozzle, right at the very end of the cylinder, you see it's like doop doop. In the corners, it's like been drilled like a little rounded hole in the bottom instead of it just being sharp edges like that, where the cylinder's in there just it's not sharp, it's kind of a little round and round. It's called radiusing. It actually will, and it's what techs used to do to keep your gun stronger, your mech box stronger. So companies have adopted that. They put that into their regular molds that they're building. So we're not seeing the problem as much as we used to with the cold weather. But I mean, the alloy, the zinc alloy, I mean, hop-up's hop-up. It's not really a durability component, meaning it's not taking a beating. I mean, the air nozzle is going into it, but it's not normally going to be like that. Now, if you're a little rough on the old magazine slam, maybe you could do it. Maybe if it had a design flaw, it could be, and the cold weather could contribute to that in a way. But absolutely, the colder it gets, and we used to play some cold games, and with higher stress, you could have issues with some of the metals, and I could see it, even the bodies get a little more brittle that way, and it's just normal. I mean, it's life. So yeah, cold can affect your gun, but you know, in most cases, especially in modern airsoft, not as much as it used to way back in the day before people have started taking the tips and all the tricks and adopting those and making them a part of the regular mech box. Duck Magooba writes, you should check out Callsign Reach. He's funny and has an interesting channel lore. All right, so I went and I clicked on the channel and I was like, all right, I'm gonna watch this review of this goofy gun. I don't even know, like the company brand name was like CSI. I was like, it was real cheapy, $100-something. Well, you see it playing right now, $100-something gun, right? It is, when we got to the chrono section, I died laughing. I'm like, I'm mashing the sub button. This guy has so few subs. I can't believe it. Callsign reach. The guy's funny. At first it started a little slow, and I'm like, I may have to pass. I actually watch a lot of these, and sometimes I'm like, maybe a little more time in the oven, you know? Maybe bake this channel out a little longer, right? When I get a recommendation. And then it just started building, and I'm like, I get this guy's humor. Okay, this is good. I quite enjoyed this review. I was actually kind of watched it end to end. I think it was fantastic. He also managed to hit all the important points in the review that I want to know, even more detail than I do in some ways on my reviews with actual measurements and things like that, in comparisons to other guns. I think he did a fantastic job, and then mixed in a little humor inside. I think it's a great channel, and there's a little bit more to the channel than just this, obviously. Was one definitely worth checking out, so Callsign Reach, and definitely Duck McGruber, thank you for the shout out for him. Definitely a channel you guys want to just go and watch. I've got the link, the video going here over top of me, over my shoulder. I have a link in the corner, of course, so it would have popped up already, so you guys can watch the video. Also, the same link is down in the description box below. Click it, go over there. If you like what you see, mash the sub button on his channel, and let him know I sent you underneath one of the videos. Okay, that's it. Don't forget, if you guys have questions that you want to have answered, or a video or a channel of your own, or a channel you like, promoted here on the show, if I could talk today, it'd be great. Let me know down in the comment section below. Put them down there in the comments. Every single week I read through those and pick out the next week's show from what you guys and gals put up. Also, news channel coming up. Let me know if you guys want to see something more than just basic news, like releases, products, company announcements. I'm going to try to make it fun and not just like boring news guy talking to the camera. I'm going to try to be a little more exciting with it. Actually, it's a dust off of something I did many years ago. It's terrible. The old stuff, it's still out there. It's terrible. Back when I was still getting new on YouTube, I wasn't really comfortable in this camera thing. But I'm dusting it off, bringing it back. Got some great people I'm working with on this one, just to kind of help in the community and all of us share. And people that are doing news, I think, fantastic. Let me know if you guys want me to do a little bit more than just the news. I mean, I'm not going to can't do a weather forecast really, or sports. But let me know if you have ideas. I always love your ideas. You always come up with some great things, you guys and gals out there. Anyway, until next time, go out, play some airsoft, have some fun. If you're going to be in North Carolina, I will see you at Black Ops Paintball here in 2 weeks. But no matter what you do, call your freaking hits.